Hello everybody, Iain Robson here. Welcome back to another episode of American Truck Simulator. Alright, so today we're taking some flour from Ottawa, Ontario to Saguenay, Quebec. And should be an interesting run. So this is the beta version, I should say, of the coast to coast map. So there's the coast to coast map, and then there's also the Mexico, oops, I don't need this, Mexico, Canada, USA map. And because we have that installed, we're just testing it out to see how it's going to work. And I'm not sure, is that the exit or is that the exit? That's the exit there. Okay. So we're gonna give it a go and see how it works out. That should be good. I had the previous version of this particular mod. The only difference here is that this one is the beta version because of the rescale. This particular mod had to basically adjust all of its the whole mod basically, because it wasn't like a trailer mod. It was a map mod, so it had to do the whole rescale thing. So because of that, that's the reason why we're in Ottawa, if you're wondering. All right, let's turn right here. Good. Just a yield sign. So today we're hauling, like I said, flour, apparently from Walmart, because Walmart ships flour. And the funny thing about that is I didn't realize Walmart shipped in bulk, but apparently it does in this game. So if you're wondering why we're in Ottawa, Ontario, or how we're in Ottawa, Ontario, that's the maps I was referring to. So that's the reason, or that's how we're able to be in Ontario in American Truck Sim. So if you ask me in the comments, that's the reason why. That is how we're able to be in Ontario, which is kind of neat actually. I wish it was a final product and not just a beta, but we're gonna give it a go and see how it works out. It may be okay, but I suspect there will be many errors, maybe even some invisible walls, which is usually the case. Alright, we're turning left here. Yes. Give ourselves lots of room. Don't hit that truck. This is a long box on this particular run. I don't know why I chose that specifically, but that's the one I ended up choosing. So that's the reason why we're giving this a go. So because of that, I need to take into consideration that it is going to be much more difficult to make those turns. Well, not difficult per se, but just I have to be more aware of the trailer itself. There we go. So I don't know. I'm happy to see it's out in beta. There's a particular map mod is out in beta, which is nice because I really like it, and it kind of lets me, gives me a chance to hang out in my neck of the woods, so to speak, because I am from Ontario, Canada, not from the United States. But a lot of people think I'm from the United States for some reason. Although some people ask me where I'm from, and they think it's somewhere else other than Canada, United States. I don't know if it's the accent or what it is, but sometimes I get that question. Not often. Now the funny thing is, last video of American Truck Sim, someone was saying I have to work on my gear changes. That's very true. I've been trying to being the key word here, the float gears, which is a difficult task actually, because what happens is you have to kind of hit the right RPM, and you have to, I don't know, I find it difficult sometimes, not always, but sometimes. It just depends on which truck I'm driving, but it always comes down to, you know, having enough RPM to slip it into the next gear without grinding the gear too much, and that's the difficult part. So because of that, you do get there's some people just hanging outside there. So because of that, you do get the odd grinding gear, and I apologize for that. Alright. here's some speed up the ramp here. There we go, nice. So I do have some music on in the background. It's not very loud, but you should be able to hear it. Let's see. Oh, this is a nice long ramp. Look at that. Nice. There we go. And hope everybody had a pretty good Christmas and New Year's, of course. I had a pretty good one. Hung out with my wife mostly, which is always fun because we don't get to do that very often. Just one of those things. We work weird shifts, so we don't always get to, what is it, 100? We don't always get to spend time together, so it's nice when we get a chance to. And that's what we got a chance to do this Christmas, which is pretty neat actually, so. Pretty pleased by that. Or I was pretty pleased by that, I should say. In case you're wondering what truck this is, for those who are wondering, this is the Peterbilt 389 by Viper. It's on my Steam Workshop collection, which is in the description, if you're interested. It's a pretty solid truck, actually. It's a bit better than the in-game one, but not by much, actually. They're pretty solid. Both of them are pretty solid. I just like some of the extra changes you can get in this truck as opposed to the other truck. So, gonna have a quick sip of coffee here. But like I said, it has some nice changes that the other truck doesn't have, so that's the reason why I like this one. Oh, I better put this on. That's the reason why I'm going so fast all of a sudden. I was trying to figure out, I'm like, wow, that's awfully quick, and of course I need this exit. I do that every single time too. I just get into the cruising mode and then just stop paying attention to the GPS. Number of times I've done that is just ridiculous. No incidents there, thankfully. I'm very surprised actually there wasn't one. There we go. Like I said, very surprised there wasn't one because that is the typical area where there would be one for me. Oh, says, what does that sign say? Bonjour! We're entering Quebec. That was a quick exit to Quebec. I think from Ontario into Quebec, or from Ottawa into Quebec, it's not that far actually. You can basically drive that within an hour actually from Ottawa. So I guess that's about right. Depends where you're going, of course, in Quebec. But they do have the bonjour sign there, so we know we're in Quebec now. I guess that means I should start speaking French as opposed to English. Because of course Quebec's a whole new world, right? Oh goodness. This is only like I think it's only a 500-kilometer journey, so it's not too long here. I think 500 is about the right length. At least that's what I've discovered so far for these journeys. I could do more, but I just don't like doing longer trips because I find the videos get really long then. Slow it down here a little bit. There we go. Apparently this is a... oh, it's still 100. It looks like it says 140 in the bottom there in the GPS, but obviously it doesn't. Let's get in the other lane here. Oh, I guess we're going to pull into the way station here. Those are one of the changes they made actually. Where you can it either says like bypass or it says you can pass. It gives you a pass essentially, which is kind of neat. Yes, I know. Stop at the scale. Put it in park. And apparently we're good. 37 tons. Okay, it's a bit heavier than I thought we were actually. Apparently we have a lot of flour. Alright, sweet. Actually, I was watching, I don't know if anybody else watches this, but his name's Trucker Josh Vlogs, I believe is what his channel's name is, on YouTube. And he was in the Yukon the other day, which is kind of neat. Place I'd never been before. So I ended up watching that video, checking it out. And apparently one of the funny things that he pointed out in his video was the fact that because there's so much light there in July, when we have July 1st, which is Canada Day, they actually don't have a lot of fireworks on July 1st because of how much light they have. So basically, I think in July, I think he was saying they have like 24 hours of light or something close to that. So because there's not very much light during that time of the year, they just, apparently we're in Montreal already. That was quick. Montreal is a nightmare to drive in, by the way, if you've ever driven around it. Whoa. Alright, fine. Be that way. Apparently people think I can stop on a dime on a truck. Although apparently people probably think I should pay more attention, which is probably true as well. Anyways, yeah, so Montreal is like a nightmare to drive in. The last time I drove through it, it was like 3 a.m. So, I did that when I was driving out east to visit my other sister, which was pretty fun actually. Not something I would do every day because it was a long journey, but it was a lot of fun because it was like a road trip. There we go. In the 7th, let's go ahead and indicate. No one's coming. We're clear. Perfect. Back up to cruising speed. Yeah, but Montreal is a terrible place, and there's always construction there too. What was that, like a brake check? Whoa, buddy, come on. Oh, it's because it's going back down to 50. I hate when that happens. That's a nice looking Mustang there, jeez. It's like an old fastback. See that? That gray one in front of us there? Nice. Oh my goodness, 30? What the heck are we doing going 30 kilometers an hour here? This is what it would be like in Montreal, though, I have to admit. Montreal's one of those places where you have lots of construction, a lot of not very great roads, and some bridges. Because, like, Montreal itself's like on an island, basically. So you have to take bridges on and off the island, obviously. But because of that, it makes getting on and off the island during like rush hour a nightmare. Because if you want to get anywhere, it's just like, nope. You're forced to deal with all the traffic. Oh, they do have a bypass now, if memory serves. They added a new highway not too long ago, actually, where you can actually go all the way around Montreal. And they do have a pay bridge, I think it is, which is actually quite nice to use because you totally circumvent the majority of Montreal. Because the way Montreal's set up is like there's a highway going right through the middle of the city, and that's the highway that always has construction, and it's like the main artery, so to speak, that goes in and out of the city. And it's just terrible to drive on. The last time I was driving down that main highway, I think it's Highway 5, maybe? I don't know, I'm not from Montreal. Anyways, I think it was like Highway 5 or something like that. And it was going right down the main drag in Montreal. And of course there was construction, so we had to go off the highway and onto like this other side route. Let's get a quick screenshot while we're in Montreal. And we had to take this side route that took us off the main highway, which of course, you know, normally isn't a big problem, except when you get lost. Nice. Or maybe we should do one of these. There we go. Anyways, so it's not bad as long as you don't get lost. But of course, my sister and I got lost at that time. So it's like 3 a.m. in the morning, I should say, and we're trying to find our way around Montreal. Oh man, it was funny. And there's a particular rule actually in Montreal is that you can't make, I believe this is a rule, don't quote me, because I don't live in Montreal, but you can't make a right turn on a red light in Montreal. It's just Montreal. A lot of people think it's Quebec, the whole province, but as far as I understand, it's only Montreal that's like that. Which is crazy when you think about it, but that's just the way it is. So 50 kilometer an hour limit here, apparently. Going through the OK Corral Montreal style. this is the beta. So he did mention that he was going to add some more of everything. Because it is only the beta, they're going to update some of these areas, add a few little things, make it a bit more lived in, so to speak. Because right now it looks kind of dead in comparison to the way the Montreal actually is, but you know, that's fine. It's to be expected right now. Still work in progress. I'll be curious to see what the final product is. I'm surprised he got it out this fast, actually, or whoever's working on it. Ooh, what's a narrow road? Don't hit a tree, jeez. That truck's having a little bit of trouble getting up that hill there. I think it's a slight incline, I can't tell, honestly. And this truck doesn't have a huge engine in it. I think it's like 500 horsepower or 515 horsepower, so you can definitely get much bigger engines in it. Much bigger engines. But I like going for like just the lower, like I would say the medium-sized ones. That's the ones that I seem to enjoy driving the most. Oh. If you're gonna go, truck, go. Hate it when they decide to do that. And watch, he's gonna get in front of the car and he's gonna hit his brakes probably. They always want to do that for some reason. Anyhow, yeah. But very interesting that they added these places in here, and it's very cool that they finally got the beta version out at least. I don't expect a lot from the beta version right now, just because it's a beta, and I fully expect to run into an invisible wall at some point along this trip. If I don't, I'd be surprised, honestly. And apparently I'm running into some trees at the very least, which probably should be fixed, but luckily they're not collidable. It'd be a lot worse if they were collidable. I would have been in the shop already by now if they were collidable, that's for sure, so. But yeah, it's in beta. Really? Car, go. If you're gonna come into the fast lane, go faster. Thank you. Yeah, anyways, it's good that they have the beta out right now, and I'll be happy to see the final product. One of the downfalls that I noticed is that when you have the coast-to-coast map, it's okay to have just the coast-to-coast map right now. The actual map looks fine, but when I added at least the Canada, Mexico, USA, I think it's what it's called, the Canada, Mexico, USA map, it actually messed up the map pretty bad. So it's like, it has like the names of the rivers and the oceans, and it has the names of the Great Lakes, which is kind of neat on the map. But either that's conflicting with one of the other mods I have, or I don't know. I'm able to drive around, but just the map itself is messed up for some reason, so I don't know what the deal is there. And you have to have the coast-to-coast map for the Mexico, Canada, USA map to work. Basically, it's like all the connections from US to Canada. Oh, I guess we're slowing down. What was that car? Was that just like, oh, I want to go into your lane to slow you down? Jeez. Sometimes the things they do in this game, you're just like, what? Like, what was the purpose of that? And now he's going out of that lane. Let's move into the slow lane here. Jeez. The AI doesn't make sense to me sometimes. Other times, I guess it makes perfect sense, but not today, apparently. They always do stuff like that. They'll get into your lane, slow down, and then speed up. And then you're forced to slow down in your truck and then take forever to speed up again, so. Oh well, what are you gonna do, right? Alright. This is what the coast-to-coast map looks like, though, right now. A lot of trees between cities. Eventually what they'll do is they'll add more visuals to it. But for the time being, because it's just the beta, they just wanted to make the connections basic right now. And eventually when we see the actual final product, I would like, hopefully, there'll be some more things to see. Because if you compare this to, like, let's say, Euro Truck, when you're making a long journey, it's like, there's no comparison, basically. Not right now, at least. But of course, the difference in Euro Truck in comparison to this is Euro Truck has, like, you know, in the base game, more than one country. And I guess different provinces within that country. I don't know what what the system is like over in the EU, but looks like a Land Rover right there, that little blue Land Rover. See that? Not too bad. Can't say I've ever driven a Land Rover before. It's funny because they're just going slow enough. I should say they're going fast enough so I could be in that lane. But there's times when they slow down just enough to make it frustrating to be in that lane. Because they'll do a brake check and then you're like, okay, hey, brake check? Yeah, thanks. Oh, well. What are you going to do, right? So like here, it's like I was going faster than that car, and now it's going faster than me. Hills, I guess. Ah, well. But like I said, hope you had a good Christmas, New Year's, all that jazz. I guess a lot of you are probably back to school now, I imagine. Doing the old school thing, which is always fun. I guess it's the last leg for university students and college students. They're going, what, from January to April, I believe, is when they kind of finish up. Let's go into the right lane here. No, apparently we had to go into the weigh scale anyway, so good thing we got in this lane. Alright, where's our exit? Alright, there we go. Let's get our trucks coming in too. It's one of the very few times I've actually seen another truck on the scales. Honestly. Usually there's lights, I think. Some are actually... there's a truck behind us too. That's neat. Never seen that before. I've never seen that many trucks getting dinged. Neat. See that? There's another truck behind me. Surprised he's not honking his horn yet. Oh, gotta turn that off. Okay. And of course the truck in front of me's stopped dead. Trying to quote-unquote merge on the highway. Oh, no, he's going, he's going. We're good, we're good. I'm surprised. Put our flashers on here while we're increasing our speed. Just so people know to go around us. Ooh, what kind of lake is that? I guess that could be the... take the flashers off now. That could be, theoretically, the Fleuve de Saint Laurent, which is the St. Lawrence River. It could be that. This looks a little rough here in this location. Jeez. Alright, so this is up to Saguenay. Ooh, this is going to be interesting, trying to get off the highway like this. Oh, here we go. Here we go. There we go. That's a tight turn, man. That's like a European truck simulator turn. Not like a American truck sim turn. Wow, that was really tight. I'm surprised, actually. Here we go. Back on the highway, head north, I imagine. If memory serves, Saguenay is pretty far north. Thank you, truck. Yeah, it's pretty far north. Actually, strangely enough, one of my students is from Saguenay. Way up there. Well, it's not that far up there, but from Ottawa there, it's, 5-hour drive apparently. And we discovered Quebec. Oh, I guess we're in Quebec City. So this would be what? The Highway 1? The Trans-Canada Highway, I guess this would be. And if we were going into Quebec and we were coming from Ottawa, whoa! If we were coming from Ottawa going to Quebec City, we would have been on. We would have had to cross a bridge, I believe, to cross the river itself. No, apparently we're not ready to turn or go. Coffee break time then. One moment. There we go. That old wagon. Nice. Alright. Let's go into this lane here. Just to stay out of people's hair. So they can pass safely on the left side, as they should be. I don't know if it's illegal to pass on the right or not. I'm not sure, actually. I don't think it's illegal. Well, you're not supposed to, let's just say that. This is Quebec City. These signs should be in French, though. Funny little fact: if you live in Quebec, the signs are in French first and then English, and the French has to be bigger, and that's due to one of the laws they have in Quebec, which is kind of funny. To preserve the language, strangely enough. I believe it's Bill 101 if memory serves. Here we go. Alright. Wonder if we can just slowly cruise up to the next light here. Still got another 150 kilometers to go until we actually reach our destination here. Oh, we got a green light. Sweet. We're still only supposed to go 50 kilometers an hour. You're lucky. I think it's a Lincoln. And there goes another Mustang. Nice. Alright. Yeah, it's one of the bizarre laws that's in Quebec where you have to have the, well, it's not, well, if you don't live in Quebec, it's kind of bizarre, but if you live in Quebec, it kind of makes sense. Like, I see both sides of the argument. Because I only teach French people, I hear a lot of talk about the language side of things. One of the questions I would often ask students, for example, is, do you think people should keep a bilingual bonus? Some people would probably say, absolutely not. Whoa! Talk about a terrible gear change there. Some people would say no, some people say yes. Wow, we're going straight uphill, it looks like. But yeah, that's one of the questions I could ask a student for one of the exams they would have to do. Let's put our Jake brake on here. So in case we start going down a hill, because eventually if you go up a hill, usually you go down a hill at some point too, so. I have a feeling one of these cars is, oh, there's a GMC. Nice. It's a nice looking GMC. It's gonna brake check soon. I just know it. I'm getting ready for him to do it too. Because you know what's gonna happen. I just don't know if I'm gonna be able to stop in time. I guess I could slow down just a smidgen, so that he can kind of go further ahead of me, so I don't get too close to him. Interesting enough, there actually are some cruise control systems in cars, maybe in trucks now, I don't know. But the cruise control system, the way it works is, it'll detect where the car is in front of you, and it'll adjust your speed to go at the car's speed in front of you. And then once the car moves out of your way, it'll increase its speed back up to the speed you want to be at. It's kind of a neat little system. I believe Mercedes does that, and maybe some other ones too, but Mercedes is the one I know of offhand. I believe that was in a Top Gear episode a long time ago now. I think Tesla probably has that too, if I had to guess. Because it's Tesla and they have stuff like that. Autopilot, and not autopilot, but cruise control that's pretty much drives the car for you for all intents and purposes. Going through another forest, it looks like. Actually, a lot of Driving through Ontario, northern Ontario, northern Quebec, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, a lot of like on the Trans-Canada highways like this. This is all it is. And you'd have fences along the sides to prevent animals from hopping on the highway. And then some places they have like a moose crossing or a deer crossing. It's kind of funny. Alright. One more sip of coffee here. I'm gonna slow down again here. Put down to 95, just so those cars can like I can keep my distance from the cars, because apparently they want to, you know, stay close to me and then brake suddenly. Not yet, but they will. Most people aren't that aggressive in the, well, that's not true. I guess a lot of people are. Alright, let's downshift here. Put it in a 7th. Try and maintain our speed a little bit going up this hill. We're still going 70 clicks, so we don't need to put our flashers on quite yet. Someone was actually saying the other day that's a common practice in some areas. In some other areas, it's the law. So it just depends on where you're from, I guess. I don't know if it's an actual law in Ontario or not. I would expect it, I don't know actually. I don't know, I do actually have the trucking license guidebook. Look at that. It's a lot. It's pretty complicated. I remember reading through it, and I'm like, wow, that's a lot to learn. Which makes sense, I guess. Oh, there's that brake check I was talking about. I guess there's a speed change coming up here. I can only assume. And that's the reason why people have slowed down so much. Watch this. The speed will go from like 100 to 50, and then there'll be 2 police cars right there, and I'll get a ticket. Oh, it's a merging lane. There we go. Nice clean merge. It's still 100 through here apparently. Which I don't think is right. Oh, we discovered Saguenay. Excellent. Alright, we're making a right turn up here. Whoa. Alright, so this is Saguenay apparently. Never been here before. Now I can officially say I've been here, so to speak. Alright. So this is our turn up here. Or was supposed to be our turn. Guess we'll just stay here. Yeah, so see where that sign says white cornered? You would never see that in Quebec. Not with English only. If they really wanted to be as accurate as possible, at least all the signs would be in French. But it's understandable why they didn't do that. I don't know how many assets they actually have that are in French, so I'm assuming none. Although there is the French Vive la France DLC, so it's possible that there are some assets that are in French. We're making this left turn up here, looks like. Let's take it easy. In the words of Liu Sheng. I'm sure none of you have any idea who I'm talking about, but that's what he says. Oh, okay. We're at the light here, apparently. And also, most often you would see a Quebec flag flying as opposed to a Canada flag, which is kind of strange. They are proud of their province, that's for sure. Where am I delivering this? Like in a residential area? Anybody need flour? Anybody? That's what it seems like. That's so bizarre. Look at this. It's a gated community, obviously. Jeez. Olive branch? Better pay attention here. I don't know where I'm going. Oh, lucky for us. Going through this intersection. This is a strange little area. Is there a Walmart? Are we turning left up here? Yes. Oh, wow, it's right there. Okay. I'm okay with that. Just slow it down here a little bit. And put our flashers on so people know we're parking. Try and take it easy on this little section of road right here. There we go. Let's get a little bit closer. That should be okay. Let's see. Perfect. Parking brake. Decouple. Nice. Excellent. Wow, I'm pretty surprised. Even with that one little, small little crash. Nice. So that was from Ottawa to Saguenay. There you go, folks. That'll be it for me for today. Hope you enjoyed. My name's Iain Robson. That's been another episode of American Truck Simulator. If you have any suggestions for the next cargo we should take, leave a comment below and we'll go from there. And once again, I'll catch you guys later.